What is good, YouTube, and welcome to another video. Summer's over, we're now heading into the fall season, which at least for me is my favorite time of the year. I'm tired of wearing t-shirts and shorts. I want to wear my nice fall jackets. And I also wanted to get you guys ready for the fall and winter season by giving you the top 15 sneakers right now under $200. I'm covering most of the major sneaker brands in this video, and all of these sneakers are gonna look great this time of the year. And I honestly can't believe that some of the sneakers in this video are under $200. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with a recent Jordan 1. This is the Jordan 1 High Palomino. This is such a great colorway. It has that familiar bread style color blocking, except they've replaced the red with these nice fall appropriate hits of dark brown. This is a super wearable sneaker, almost as wearable as probably the Jordan 1 Shadows. You're gonna get a lot of use out of this sneaker, and especially for those of you that missed out on those Mocha ones that dropped a few years ago, this is a pretty good replacement for those, and currently prices in most sizes are under $200. The leather on these is great, and if you consider how much you're probably going to be wearing these in the fall time, they are a pretty good bargain under $200. Moving on to the next sneaker on the list. Now, if you were to ask me what is the most wearable pair of Jordan 1s that dropped this year, I would have to say it's these, the Jordan 1 Washed Black. A very nice two-tone Jordan 1 done in this faded black color. Just think about it. If this sneaker dropped 2 years ago when the Jordan 1 hype was at an all-time high, I'm pretty sure this sneaker would have had no chance of making it to this list. Sneaker trends move in cycles, and I feel like when the hype eventually does return to the Jordan 1s, people are definitely gonna regret sleeping on a super clean and wearable pair like this. And as of right now, almost every size is well under $200, which in my opinion, definitely a steal. The next sneaker on the list, and yes, we're gonna keep it on Jordan 1s. This is the Jordan 1 High Starfish. These actually dropped last year and was one of my absolute favorite Jordan 1s to drop last year, mainly because of the super clean colorway, which reminded me a lot of the reverse shattered backboards, and also the leather quality on that pair. The leather quality definitely was one of the best we saw on any Jordan 1 last year. And now, a year later, we're back in the fall season, and a colorway like this is gonna hit so hard in the fall, especially around Halloween time. A colorway like this is gonna slap. And since this video is all about steals, these are actually going for an absurdly low price, guys. Most of the pairs are well under retail actually, and for the price, I think these are just too good to pass up. Next, we already talked about the Jordan 1 Palomino, but how about the Jordan 3 Palomino? These definitely give me a bit of that Jordan 3 Mocha type of vibe. Got these nice hits of brown and also a little bit of gold in there. Even though I'm not much of a threes guy, I have to admit this colorway in the fall time is gonna definitely hit. And prices on these right now also looking very, very good. You can in fact even get them below retail right now on StockX. And by the way, all the sneakers mentioned in this video, I will be leaving the StockX links in the description if you guys wanted to cop. Moving on to one of my absolute favorite pairs of dunks this year. This is the Nike Dunk Low Setsubun, a sneaker which is based on the Japanese Springtime Festival. And even though these sneakers released in the spring, just in time for that festival, I would say they are much more of a fall sneaker. In fact, this colorway is giving me some pretty strong Travis Scott vibes. You got these hits of dark brown on the toe box, some nice cracked leather as well on the tan portions of the sneaker, and then you got that really nice hit of purple to round it all off. A lot of dope details on the sneaker as well, like that embroidered image of a demon at the back, as well as a pretty dope insole. I know dunk hype is not what it once was, guys, but come on, this sneaker is just too fire to be selling at these prices right now, well under $200 in most sizes. Check it out, the Nike Dunk Low Setsubun. And if you're the type of person that likes their shoes nice and simple, then you gotta love these, which released recently as well. This is the Nike Dunk Low Cacao Wow. Super clean, super simple, just white and brown, a nice two-tone dunk. Another colorway that if these released a year ago when dunk hype was through the roof, you already know this super clean colorway would be going for a lot more than $200. But right now, even though they did sell out, most of the prices are quite reasonable. Unfortunately, this is a women's only release, so it didn't go higher than a men's 10.5. But if you have smaller feet and you just want a simple pair of shoes to rock throughout the fall time, you can't go wrong with the Dunk Low Cacao Wow. The next sneaker on the list, guys, and honestly, I can't even believe this sneakers on this list. It is the Nike Dunk Low in the medium curry colorway. Yes, those dunks that dropped a couple of years ago, they were one of the best sneakers to drop that year. Incredible materials, amazing colorway. And yes guys, these aren't reselling for $500 anymore. In fact, most pairs right now are going for around $150. And that's because these sneakers did have a huge restock in Asia. So there's tons and tons of pairs floating around right now on StockX. If you didn't already know, I would suggest go ahead placing a bid, because if you really were feeling bad about missing out a couple of years ago, this is your opportunity. Dunks this clean don't come around too often, and going into the fall season, there isn't going to be one outfit that doesn't get elevated when you wear a shoe like that. So definitely check it out, the Dunk Low medium curry. Super happy Nike brought these back. One of my favorite dunks overall to release from this entire dunk era we've been in the last couple of years. Next sneaker on the list, keeping it with Nike, you knew I had to mention the hottest Nike sneaker of the moment. That is the Zoom Vomero 5. And there's actually plenty of colorways to choose at this price point. The one I'm showcasing right here is the wheatgrass colorway, which I think is probably the most fall appropriate colorway so far to drop this year. But there's plenty of other great options as well, including the cobblestone. And if you're the type of person that loves to wear all black sneakers, then you also have that option on the Zoom Vomero 5s. And all of these right now are well under $200, making them a great option, especially considering how comfortable they are. You know, I've talked about how comfortable the Vomero 5s are on this channel so many times. They look great, they're not as chunky as some of the options from other brands, and they are just crazy comfortable. So I do suggest the Zoom Vomero 5. Check it out, there's plenty of colorways to choose from. Moving on, let's talk about one of the absolute best brands in sneakers right now, and that is New Balance. And of course, the sneaker I wanted to highlight is the 990 V6. I personally already own 4 pairs in my own collection, because once I started wearing them, I didn't want to wear anything else. They're just that comfortable. The problem was, however, they do have a pretty high retail price, but not these right here. This is the original gray colorway, which you can actually get right now for much under retail. Do not buy these shoes if you like shoes, because you might just wear these and not want to buy anything else. Nah, I'm just kidding, you should buy them. These are great. As with most New Balance sneakers, you're also getting a very well built, a very high quality sneaker as well. So check it out, the 990 V6. Quick little reminder to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. It means the world to me. One of the most popular New Balance models this year, however, has been the 9060. This is a newer model, and I'll admit it's tough to find a colorway that looks bad on this shoe. There's so many great ones. The one I wanted to highlight is a recent pair, the Nori colorway. A beautiful green and cream pair, which also right now on StockX you can get for below retail in a lot of sizes. And you already know these are gonna go super hard in the fall time. The 9060 for me was a shoe that in the summertime I found quite difficult to wear just because of how big they look on feet. But going into the fall and winter, I definitely plan to pick some up, and it might start right here with this Nori colorway, which I think is beautiful. And one more from New Balance, we gotta also talk about the 1906, and there is this entire protection pack which dropped. Quite a few colorways on there, and most of them right now are going for well under $200 on reselling platforms. The 1906R is simply one of the most comfortable sneakers offered from New Balance right now. Plenty of colorways to choose from, and these shoes really do look great with pretty much anything, so you can't go wrong with these, the 1906R. Moving on to maybe the hottest sneaker brand of the moment right now, let's talk about Asics, specifically the Gel 1130, which is actually one of the most cheapest Asics models. Prices start at just around $100, and if you watched my entire Asics guide video, in that video I did say that this model, the 1130, was in my opinion maybe the most comfortable of all the Asics models, even though some of the other models are more expensive. These feel super squishy on feet. The colorway I have on your screen right now is this very nice brown and white colorway. You got plenty of nice ones coming up as well, including this green pair. But these guys, trust me, spend $100 and forget about it. You might not need another sneaker this year. The first time I wore 1130s was earlier this year when I bought this Hall Studios collab, and I was just super impressed with the cushioning. And when I looked at what the regular GR versions go for, just around $100, I was pretty much shocked, because one thing's for certain, at that price range you're not gonna find a more comfortable pair of sneakers. So highly recommended, guys, the 1130s, check them out. And the next sneaker, well, if you don't want just a regular regular pair of 1130s, you want something a bit more special, you can go for these. This is the Hall Studios collab on the gel 1130s. This is the third and final colorway, also called the Glacier pair. Perhaps the cleanest colorway we've seen from the Hall Studios and Asics partnership. A simple light gray and black colorway that looks really good on feet. They also come with these super fire red laces as well if you wanted to just add a little bit of pop of color. And the quality on these is really good too, really nice suede here, and most sizes right now are well under $200. They're not gonna stay that way for long, trust me. You're gonna wanna buy these before prices start to spike. Couldn't recommend these more. Asics Gel 1130 Hall Studios. We can't miss out on Adidas because right now they potentially have maybe the hottest model out there, the Samba, but a sneaker I wanted to highlight was in fact the Gazelle Indoors. Specifically this very nice collegiate green colorway. A pair that's gonna look great right now towards the end of summer, beginning of fall. And what I love about this pair is it's so very similar to that Gucci collab that dropped last year for a much higher price point. These right now are going for anywhere between 120 to around 160 in most sizes. Yeah, it's a bit of a trendy shoe, but I love them. It looks great with most outfits. There's honestly infinite colorways of Sambas and Gazelles that I could have, put on this list, but I specifically just wanted to highlight this Gazelle Indoor green pair because I think value for money, these are just one of the nicest we've seen. And finally, I have a recommendation from a brand that I understand might not be the most popular with everyone, but it's certainly one of my favorite, and that is Salomon, specifically the Salomon XT6 Gore-Tex. The reason I mention this sneaker is because there's not too many sneakers out there that work really well in the rain. This one is done with Gore-Tex, so it is more water resistant. Not all of the XT6s have Gore-Tex, only a few do, but they are very clean, and they are all going for under $200 right now, so check them out. I definitely recommend them. And that's the list right there. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite sneaker that I mentioned in this video, and also if I missed something that in your opinion should have been on this list, leave a comment down below. Make sure you are following me on Instagram because I'm dropping a ton of content there every single day. And also, if you haven't already done so, check out my podcast. We're dropping episodes bi-weekly. Just dropped an episode 2 days ago, so you want to check that out. The links are in the description for Spotify and Apple Music. And thank you so much for chilling with me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.